Hello, and as the title placard says, this is Be Elite, a response to a troll. Basically, this video, I'll be talking about a topic that's been floating around in my head for like a month now, but my interactions with a troll on one of my videos kind of forced me into it. Forced me into it. So I'm gonna have to get down and talk about it because, you know, I've been thinking about this for quite some time. So without further ado, here we jump into why I think gamers should be elite and not commoners after the cut. Now, before I get into my response to this person's rather stupid premise for their argument, I should give some context. This person went to one of my older videos. I'll leave a link in the description field. It's called Why I Don't Give a Flying You Know What About Third Parties on the Wii U, and Neither Should You. And basically said that, you know, I was totally crazy about saying we need high quality games on the Wii U, and, you know, if third parties aren't going to put forth a decent effort for games on the Wii U, then I'm not gonna buy them. Said that, you know, I was totally out of my mind for saying that, and, you know, maybe I should listen to what I said, which obviously I listened to what I said because I can hear. But and I'm also forming the words in my head before they come out of my mouth, but whatever. So, you know, basically their argument between the two of us was of this person who calls himself, or her, I don't know, the Wall 200, is that it is acceptable for a game to be broken because they can simply patch it later in future releases, which is what's the word I'm looking for? Moronic. I mean, you know, and I may be old school because I started gaming when I was 4 years old. No, 3 years old. So I've been gaming for 25 years, okay? And I got my first console when I was 5. So 2 years later I got my first console, but I've been gaming since I was 3 years old. Video gaming and RPG gaming and that type of thing. And, you know, I got my start on cartridges, and cartridges really got, I mean, they, you know, like, you couldn't patch a cartridge. If a game was a piece of shit and it made it to shipping and it would release, the only thing a developer could do was get the unsold copies, take them out into the middle of a landfill in the desert and bury them. Like Atari! So, with E.T. So basically, you know, patching didn't exist back then for console gaming. Only with the advent of the original Xbox did online and patching become a thing. And that was one of the worst things that ever happened to gaming, because it gave a lot of these lazy-ass, half-ass developers the means to basically cover up their sins. You know, oh, we released a piece of shit, a broken piece of shit, oh, we can fix it later. We don't need to actually test this thing to make sure it works. Or even though we know it's broken, we'll fix it later post-launch with a patch. And we've seen numerous examples of this across all 3 systems. We saw it with the Wii, well, not the Wii. We saw it with the Xbox 360, the PS3, and even on PC. Games getting released that there is no way the developer missed that this game was broken or had major issues, and them releasing it knowing it was broken and people accepting it. SimCity 4, Battlefield 4, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, multiple EA games. I mean, these people make a game and know it's broken. Know it has issues. Know it has problems. And people accept it. We have gamers like this who think, oh, well, they'll just patch it later. It'll get fixed. Such a complacent attitude. You're basically like an abused person who's getting abused. The abuser is the person, is the developer and the publisher putting out this game, knowing it has major issues, and you are the abusee just taking it. Psh, oh, they'll get better. Oh yeah, I fell. I hurt my eye. I fell. No one punched me. I fell. I fell and hit hit this knob. I know it looks like a fist hit me in my eye, but no. I fell. That's the bullshit we're dealing with. That's the bullshit we have to deal with. And, you know, people get mad, and the hypocrisy comes in is that people get mad at the few companies that actually put out quality titles that aren't broken pieces of shit. I'm not saying you might enjoy the game or you might not enjoy the game. I'm saying that just quality-wise, it's of a certain level, and people get mad at those people because they refuse to limit themselves. They refuse to put out garbage. I think it's time that gamers strive to, instead of trying to be, well, I have an open mind, I play everything. Don't play everything. Hold these developers and publishers to a higher standard. Force them to increase their standards. Force them to increase their quality. Okay? Be elite. Which leads to the second part of this video. Okay then, basically, it's as the title placard says. Why being elite is actually a good thing. Now, listen, okay? I'm not saying that I haven't played my share of stinkers. I have True Crimes 1 and 2 for the GameCube, and True Crimes 2 is garbage. The first True Crimes was hailed as being the GTA killer. It wasn't. It was a decent open world game, sandbox style game. Decent. It had better character development in some cases. And, you know, it was fun hearing Christopher Walken in a video game because it's Christopher motherfucking Walken. The tone, it's all wrong, you know, Mr. Dancing Man. But, as I was saying, a lot of people don't seem to understand that, you know, you should strive to always be better, okay? You should strive to better yourself, to make the world around you better, to always do better, to always do better than you did before. That's how you become a fantastic person. That's how you get high quality things. You know, like, I'm not expecting the general quality of something to go down over the years. It should be going up. The quality of a product that's been made for more than 15 or 20 years should be going up, not going down. And yet now, in this console generation, we have games that are less complete, more glitchy and bug-filled now than games from 10 or 15 years ago. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Okay? Battlefield, Star Wars, Battlefield from the PS2 era is a more complete game and has more things going on in it than Battlefield 4. Really? SimCity for my SNES is a more complete game than SimCity 4. I mean, people don't see a problem here? People don't see an issue that needs to be fixed? Games should be getting better. Consoles should be getting better. The technology, you should be getting more now than you did back then, not less. And yet, people accept it. Well, I say enough. I'm going to be an elite gamer. That doesn't mean I don't play certain types of games. That means I will expect and hold people accountable. I will not play a game that is broken, glitchy piece of shit. I will not play a game that is bland and blah and boring. I will not play a game that is I will not play a game that is literally just a simple cash, that is a half-assed game thrown onto a console with zero actual energy. I will not play full price for a game that has been out for other systems for 3, 4, 5 months with no additional features, and yet it somehow warrants a full price sale on another console. I will not do that. I will not. I will be elite. I will hold all first, second, and third party developers to a higher standard. Thus far, only 3 developers have actually kept up high standards. Okay? Sega, Nintendo, and that's it. I don't know why I said 3. Off the top of my head, Sega, Nintendo, and that's it. I mean, I can't say Warner Brothers because they released the original Arkham City was okay. That was Rocksteady. Arkham Asylum, then Arkham City. Arkham Asylum was okay. Arkham City was pretty good. The Armored Edition is really good. That's a fun game. And then they released Arkham Origins, which was just garbage. I mean, no Kevin Conroy, no Mark Hamill as the Joker. How the frick are you gonna have a Batman game without Kevin Conroy as Batman? I mean, when I think of the voice of Batman, I think Kevin Conroy. Because he's just, that voice, it's so Batman-y. But you have people, oh, Arkham Origins wasn't that bad. Yes, it was that bad, okay? Stop accepting mediocrity, okay? Stop accepting garbage. Stop accepting BS, okay? If a game is garbage, okay? If a game has a garbage premise, garbage development, garbage was rushed, underfunded, why would you think they could patch that game into being worthwhile later on after the fact? That's like, basically, making a game is like baking a pie, okay? You bake a pie, okay? You have to, when you bake something, you have to add all the shit you're gonna add in order to make it into a good thing after the fact. I mean, during its process, when you're mixing things, okay? Like, you know, if I'm baking a blueberry pie, I have to add my sugar to the blueberries before I put them in the pie crust, not after, okay? What you have with a lot of these developers is they realize, oh snap, I forgot to put sugar in those blueberries. Oh, I'll add sugar after the fact. No. If you didn't get that shit in development, it's not, you can't change it now, because everything you do after you take a pie or any baked dessert out of the oven is a garnish. And garnishes do not affect the end product. I added a sprinkle of nutmeg. That still doesn't change the fact that this pie has 0 sweets in it. 0. Zip. Okay? Same thing with print media. Once you make a fuck up in the newspaper, yeah, you can go back after the fact, but it doesn't change the fact that you did that initial fuck up. Okay? People need to understand that. Be elite. Strive for better. Hold these fuckers to a higher set of standards. It's not acceptable to patch a game 15, 20 times. If you have to patch a game 15 or 20 times, that means the game wasn't ready to be released in the first place. And some of these glaring omissions that everyone can tell the game was broken. I mean, there is no way you can tell me that the people at Bethesda didn't know Skyrim had issues, okay? There's no way. Because even on PC, if you played that game for a long period of time, like 8, 9, 10 hours, which people are wont to do when you're playing a game, it would have missing NPCs, dropped quests, freeze up, lock up, crash. This is acceptable? Since when? Ugh. Our conclusion after the cut. Okay, now that I've ranted and gotten this off of my chest, I just have one final thing to say. People need to understand that, you know, we need to expect more from these people, okay? We need to expect higher quality. We need to expect better stories. We need to expect more. Now, I'm not saying be hyped, not think something's going to be perfect. Like, I'm not expecting Xenoblade Chronicles X to be perfect. I know it's going to be a solid game. It's going to be long, it's going to have depth, it's going to have something you can sink your teeth into. It's not going to be perfect. No game is perfect. Well, no. There are 3 perfect games that I've played, like, that are absolutely perfect. Super Mario 3 for the NES, Super Mario World for the SNES, and Link to the Past. Other than that, even games that are considered very highly rated have issues that are very that take away from them being perfect. For example, Ocarina of Time has Navi the Fairy and unskippable cutscenes. Now, the first time you play Ocarina of Time, it's like, oh, this is awesome. The 30th time, it's like, I'm tired of watching this cutscene. I should be able to skip the Navi tree dying. I want to get to the rest of the game. Get what I'm saying? But anyway, no game is... There are very few perfect games. But, people need to understand that. People need to understand that. Mario 64, great game. The camera is still has issues. It's close though. For a 3D game, it's close. So what I'm saying is this, okay? In total, in regards to those of you who think it's acceptable to have mediocre, broken games that are later patched into being playable, don't accept shit. Don't accept ill treatment and say, well, they'll change. They're not going to change because you're accepting it. They'll keep on doing it as long as you let them get away with it. For those of us who do not, continue to hold developers and publishers to a high standard so that they don't do this. Don't buy their games. I mean, I hear people saying Battlefield's a broken piece of shit, and you bought it. You knew it was going to be a broken piece of shit, and you bought it. Stop buying broken pieces of shit. If you stop buying it, they'll stop making it. And to those of you who feel that gaming is just fine, please don't. Now that I've gotten out of the way, I just want to say that tomorrow from 6:30 to 8, I will be doing a podcast. That's the window. It could go longer, it could end earlier. That's the window we're aiming for. I will be joined by hopefully Butterworthy, GINU, Terminator Juice, and maybe some other people, depending on what pans out. It's going to be awesome. We'll be covering third parties and the scandalous things they've been doing. And we'll be using an article to source that. We'll also be touching upon Capcom and Ubisoft, third parties who've been effing up. So let's get down to it. That's the end of this video. I just wanted to get this off of my chest because the idea is spinning around in my head. I even wrote an outline to put my thoughts on paper, but finally getting it out there gets a load off of my chest. So please stay tuned tomorrow for the podcast. And if you have any questions, the Q&A will be open so you can ask them. So that's kind of cool. So thank you and have a good day.